This video is about recursion, where a method calls itself multiple times. This is a way of doing loops. So right now we know about iteration, where we use while loops and for loops and walk through things using that. But another way to do function calls is through recursion, where notice that it says return print. So print is a function that takes the current node and it returns print called on its left side, its current value, and print called on its right side. So we can actually have a method call itself over and over again, and this forms a sort of loop. So let me walk through this particular tree here to show you how that works. So this is called an expression tree, where it's doing basically an example of a math formula. So if we call print current on this plus sign here, we start there. Print call gets called on that node. It's going to call print left next. Now it actually pauses at this point. The print plus actually pauses here, and we actually call print again on the 1. So 1 becomes current. So now we're looking at this node here and calling print on that. This one happens to be a leaf, meaning it's at the bottom of the tree. There's no other children to it. So the left node is null, the right node is null, and it has a value of 1. This gets returned and replaces what left used to be. So left is now just the 1 that we had before. We now get the value of the plus sign, but now we call print on its right side, which is asterisk, the times. We call it on this one. It pauses here still on the original print plus and continues on with this times. Now this one has a left node that also is not complete yet, so it calls print on the 2. So it pauses the times 1 and continues on with the 2. 2 is a leaf, so its left child is null, its right child is null, it's a value of 2. So it returns that for the left child. So 2 was the only thing it had. Value is times, and now it's going to call print on the right side, the 5. So this pauses, and it's going to call print 5 again. Current becomes 5 for this particular print. Notice that all of these are still being run. They're still on the method call stack, which is keeping track of all of these things. So as we complete these things, it'll basically substitute in the answers back into the original values. It's called unrolling the recursion. So this is a leaf, puts the 5 back in, the 2 times 5 becomes the right child, and there's our output. So that's an example of recursion where a method calls itself. Hopefully that gives you a better idea of what's going on.